Welcome to I Love My HBCU ? The podcast where we express our undeniable love for HBCUs, but where we are also not afraid to address a few tough questions. So, sit back, learn a little, love a lot, and rep your HBCU. It is another episode and another reason to ride hard for Coppin State University. So I know I normally say it's another reason to love your HBCU, but Coppin is in the house by way of London, Rochelle. London, welcome. How are you?
I'm doing fine. Thank you for having me.
I am glad that you're here. I mentioned just before we hit record. So, London is an educator, and we're about to delve deep into the social impact work that is teaching. I think anyone that wakes up at any point in time in their life and says, I'm going to be a teacher, we need to give you $1 million just to start off with, because no, seriously, no, it's a lot. So we're gonna get into that conversation soon. But if you hear some students in the background, it's because we are quite literally recording this while London is in her job. London, is it okay sharing where you are an educator?
Yeah, so I'm a parent educator at Hammond High School. It's in Columbia.
Columbia, Maryland.
Yeah, so I commute from Baltimore because I live in like deep Baltimore to Columbia every day, Monday through Friday.
Wow. Wow. See why I said the $1 million is worth it? Because the things teachers do doesn't make sense for a lot of people. London, you are a non-traditional student. I love it when we get to speak to different types of humans, but especially students who have different pathways. You did not start at an HBCU. You started outside of an HBCU. Can you just share what your journey, what your education journey has been like?
It's been quick. I pride myself and I want people to understand how serious I'm taking this because I started at um Baltimore City Community College, which is BCCC, in 2023, and I finished in May of 2024. So then I went from so then they had like different options, and in all honesty, like I wanted to go to a HBCU because when I was in school, that wasn't the thing that was pushed out on students and how important it was to be a part of going to a historical black college or whatnot. And two, like I had when I was younger, like it just was like okay, like you were told to go to college, but you didn't necessarily know what you wanted to go for. So back then we weren't taking it serious. So then when I knew that education was my calling, I'm like, okay, London, you gotta hit the pavement, you gotta hit it running. So I finished in 2024, and then I started copping in the fall of 2025, and then I'm finishing up in the fall of 2026. So it literally only took me a year to get my bachelor's degree in English because I was taking 6 to 7 classes a semester. So I wanted people to understand and really, really understand how serious and how hard I wanted this. So I just rocked it out.
So if I'm listening to your journey accurately, and please, I welcome you to correct me every step of the way where I get it wrong. You did not leave high school and go directly to college. What did you do in the meantime?
So when I left high school, I went to CCBC for probably about a semester, and then like life just hit. Like I just started doing what I felt like I wanted to do, and was trying to figure out who I wanted to be and what life looked like for me. So I got married when I was young. So I was married for almost 20 years, and I became a mom. So then when my children got older, I'm like, all right, London, like you gotta lock in, you gotta you know do something that that can show your children and your babies like it's worth having, because that's what's important to me. I always want to lead by example, whether it's just with my children or the children that I interact with every day. That's what's important to me. So even my students here seeing how hard I go to work and how far I travel and all the classes I take and the homework I gotta do, like they see how hard I work. So that makes them want to work hard too, or strive for something other than just relaxing and just chilling. Like you got to go get it if you want it.
London, I've listened to every single thing you've said, but I have not been able to get past the fact that you said you've been married for 20 years and you look like you're
I was.
25. So, and
I was
listen,
married for.
when we get to heaven, London, I don't know when that's going to be. I know she's laughing. She doesn't even know what I'm about to say, and she's laughing because I think she knows where I'm going. London, I'm going to say thank you to God. I know we joke about black not cracking, and I'm not insulting you. I hope you don't feel like I'm
No, I
insulting you.
understand.
But you just said you've been married for 20 years, or you were married for 20 years.
Hmm.
And no exaggeration whatsoever. I bet you no one ever thinks you're older than 30 or 30 something, which is nuts to me because you look so young. So listen, I'm not questioning God. I love that he gave black women at least that one gift. If we take care
I'm
of
telling you.
ourselves,
I'm telling
listen,
you.
we don't age. I wasn't expecting that journey. I was expecting something else, but I wasn't expecting you to say that that's the gap you took. Because if you recall, much earlier on, you said when you were going to school, and even though I did not go to my early formative years here, it's true for me as well. I wasn't told go to an HBCU. It wasn't put out there for us to go to an HBCU. So it wasn't surprising to hear that. But then it was surprising to hear the gap that was taken in between both times. I know you've heard the conversation. You're teaching in a school now, so I bet you hear the conversation where a lot of kids don't see the point of going to college anymore. And for somebody like you who said it was your calling to go into education, and that's why you have come back and you have done it, like literally, you are outpacing most people who are getting their degree. Like you're doing it in record timing. Two questions for you. Number one, what do you see as a value of a college degree? Just what do you see? Because it is taking a beating out there in the world, i.e., there are a lot of the things that a lot of our quote unquote kids want to do, be an
Right.
influencer or blah 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 blah, social media marketing, all that stuff. If we're being honest with ourselves, you may not necessarily need a college degree for that. So what would you say is still the value of a college degree?
It's funny that you say that because a lot of my students, when we discuss and talk about college, they all say, "Well, Miss London, I can go out here and make a viral video and make all this money. What do I need a college degree for?" And like I try to explain to my students, like it's nothing like having your own. You get what I'm saying? Like working hard for something. A lot of people come up off of making a video that's funny, and that's one in a million. But you having a degree that you actually work for is not a one in a million. It's actually something that you work for. So I instill in all of my children, and even in myself, that this is something that I worked hard for. Can't nobody take from me. They can take your platform anytime, where though they might not
Hmm.
find the video.
Hmm. Hmm.
Or now we culture ban and them say, hey, don't like his videos no more. Then now your
That's
money gone.
true.
But nobody can take away from you something you worked hard for. And to me, like that's I know can't nobody take my degree from me. I worked hard for that. So they can take anything else, but you can't take that.
Wow, that's special. That's I we we've heard it, we know it, but it's not always in our faces that at any given point in time, Instagram could fail.
Hmm.
At any
Yeah.
given point, listen, didn't we have an AWS what's it called, Amazon Web Services, which serves as a platform for a number of these other platforms that we use. It went out for, I think it was about 6 hours over the
Uh-huh.
last couple of weeks, and everyone went nuts.
Yeah, they
We
lost their
forget
mind.
that that can happen. But the part that I forgot that you just reminded me of is the culture banning. Like literally, you can be banned and you go from being high to almost losing your mind for some people who take these types of things very, very seriously. So I need to start adding that honestly into some of my reasons. Although let's get real. From one educator to another educator, London, I am that person that does say that not all college degrees are worth it. Now, what is your
I mean,
take?
that's a fair assessment. I mean that's a fair assessment. But for me, it's like when I look at all the things that have been thrown in my way because and I'll just use myself for example because I feel like my story is the best story because it's my journey. So
Absolutely.
um my he's 14 now. So when I was getting my bachelor's degree, my 14-year-old he was diagnosed with leukemia for the second time.
Oh,
So
wow.
I would be sitting in the hospital doing homework, and my nurses would, "Hey, London, go ahead down to the conference room and do your homework. We got him. We'll take care of him." Like they were supportive, and so it was like me having that support during one of the toughest times in my life, while I'm seeing my son go through chemo and blood drawings and constant, feeding tubes and stuff. It was like I want to make sure that I don't let these people down. So me obtaining something that's to some might just be, oh, it's just an English degree. The people who helped me along the way, I want to make them proud. So in doing that, again, that's why it's important for me because it's like, well, you showing not only are you showing them, but you living it. And a lot of people live in a moment of social media or becoming an influencer that they forget that it's real life. Like you said, anytime these things can come crashing down, what would you have to fall back on? Because a lot of people don't know, like you can say for like basketball players, they play basketball, but after that they might have a degree in weather forecasting or something. You just never know. But like to them, that's what matters because they have something to fall back on. So I don't know. I just having that and being the first one in my family to go to a HBCU, you get what I'm saying, and being that support system and that role model for others who didn't think about it now taking a class at a community college or HBCU is important ways, but they necessarily weren't thinking about it before, but they looking at it like, you know what, London can do it. Let me stop playing. I can do it too.
I got you said something that reminded me. I got called out recently, London. I was not raised in the United States of America. I was not born in the US. I am Nigerian and I was educated in Nigeria, Gambia, the United Kingdom, you name it. And it's when I got to the US that I got to hear a lot of people talk about making other people proud based on a college degree and the education that you get, and then also not wanting to fail them along the way. And I'm going to be honest that I don't think I am as sensitive to that as somebody who was born and raised in the US. I respect it, but I don't think I'm as sensitive towards it because I don't have that same feeling. I don't have the same feeling
Right.
of I'm doing this to make somebody proud. And I don't let me put myself out there even more. I also don't even think that I understand it. Like I hear it, I respect it when I hear people say it, but I don't have a sensibility towards it that allows me to fully understand it. I want you to teach me and people
Okay.
like me who don't really have that sensibility and that understanding, why is it so important that your college degree that you're getting, that I think you're getting for you, a lot of African Americans especially vocalize, I'm doing this for my grandmother, I'm doing this for my mother, I'm doing it for my generation. Like it's bigger than them all the time. For somebody who was not raised here, could you try to help me understand why that is so important?
Just remember, I'll do my best. So I guess for me, it would be more so looking at it like, I grew up in the city off of Pennsylvania Avenue, and you know how people always put wherever you grew up, you are a product of your environment, right? So they automatically assume that you're going to be either a drug dealer or you're going to use drugs, or you're going to be pregnant with 6 kids and on welfare. You get what I'm saying? So being able to show people that you're not necessarily a product of your environment, but you're bigger than that is what's important because they already label you. So when you got people who help you along the way, like my grandmother played a big part of my life, making sure I didn't have everything I wanted, but she had what I need. She made sure I had what I needed to be successful. You get what I'm saying? So you don't never want to let that person down in the aspect of they're working hard. And then my grandma worked up until she was 60, 70 years old. I don't want her hard work to not, well, to be in vain because I didn't
Absolutely.
take what I'm doing serious, and everything that she did was for the betterment of me, if that makes sense.
It does.
So I mean, to me, it's just important, just to show your appreciation in paying back, in a way of paying back, not necessarily in money, but in success. Because a lot of the times, and again, I mean, I don't know, even like you said, where you're from, like where you from, that may be the norm. You get what I'm saying? It's expected of you to be successful. Whereas though here, that's not an expectation. If this child grew up on Pennsylvania Avenue, ain't no way, she going to, college, and she going to be on the dean's list every semester. Like it's no way. So I mean, it's bigger than just it's bigger than me. Like it's I'm sorry. I hope I'm explaining it the
No, you
correct way,
did.
but
You did. There are a couple of things that you said that I said, Tosin, that's it. We are products of our environments. And beyond just being a product of your environment, it sounds based on what I heard from what you said, it also sounds as if we are the end of our story is written sometimes because of our environment. And
yeah,
what I'm hearing as the pride of going to college being for a lot of African Americans, based on the way you describe it, is we rewrote our story. And we rewrote our story not just in our own names, but we rewrote our story in the names of every single person who also saw our environment but said, no, you're not going to fulfill the requirements and predictions of your environment. That's how I
to
understood
be
it.
better, right? And because it's so crazy because my son actually goes to the high school that I went to when I graduated, and so it was our homecoming. And my old principal, she walks up and she's like, "Hey, London, I just knew the girl that you just." She said, "I'm sorry, I just knew you weren't gonna be nothing." She said, "But you really
Wow.
surprised me." And I was just like, but then it was like, what I mean. But then I also had to, in my adult life now, I had to think like, what? It wasn't that I was bad, but like I was a typical teenager. So to change that, to change her perception, like I see how successful you are. She was like, yeah, because I saw in the newspaper, you got a scholarship, and I'm just really proud of you. And I'm like, see, you thought that I wasn't going to be nothing. Got it together real quick, didn't I? So I mean, changing people's perception because they have it in my mind, a young black woman, oh, she already gonna have 18 kids and she not gonna be nothing down to I got you, didn't I? I'm graduating with honors. Like you put some respect on that. So to me,
Absolutely.
changing people's perceptions and showing them that it's bigger than me, like
I
that's
love
what I
it.
pride myself in.
I absolutely love it. I love even more the return. Like you went back and the person gets to see. And you know what? I don't think people are going to agree with me here. I respect the principal that's willing to say out of their mouths to you, I didn't think this was going to be the story. Um, because when that person says that, you also get to learn from each other. The person who says something like that, when they see a London come back, hopefully gets to learn and see, you know what? Not everybody that comes from the area that London comes from is going to only fulfill the stereotypes that you have of where she comes from. There will also be Londons, and if you had not walked back into her space, she may not have been able to put one and two together. So listen, humans are going to be human. And I love that I have a better understanding of the why. I just sometimes think that has got to be a heavy weight that you put on your shoulders, and I think that's why I've struggled with it, that you there has to be a heavy weight that you put on your shoulders trying to go against the stereotypes that are consistently placed on you when you come from certain places.
And I understand that wholeheartedly. I feel like, but in the space that I have been in life, that stereotype is going to follow you throughout wherever you go. So it's like no matter what, I think you'll never be able to fully shake it. You'll only be able to lighten it, if that makes sense.
Mm,
So you
mm,
know how it
mm.
feels heavy now, but like living in what I would say my truth is lighten it. It's still kind of heavy, but it's not as heavy as it was because now people have that a different they looking at me through a different lens based off of how hard I'm working. So even so again,
Absolutely.
like when she said that to me, I honestly didn't feel um offended. I was like, it was more so like, Dag, like I proved to you that in your mind you thought London Rochelle was going to be a nobody, but she turned out to be better than what you thought. And to me, that's big because I feel like going throughout my whole adult life is always about change and becoming a better version than the version I was. Because I'm not the same woman today that I was yesterday. I learned
Of
something different.
course.
Even me listening to you, like I'm learning, like people's perceptions of different things that happen in the world that I may not be privy to. So I appreciate that. So I look at it,
Absolutely.
I don't know, I just look at things different in general.
I love it. I love it. Listen, we got straight into the conversation, and my producer's like, you do know you need to treat her to the rapid fire, right? So, London, we're going to give you the rapid fire segment, and you're going to answer as many questions as you can in 67 seconds or less. Are you ready?
Okay.
Let's do
Yes.
this. Describe yourself in 3 words.
Honest, uh honest and giving.
What was the third one? Honest and giving?
I got I got two
You
honesties
got
and a giving.
she said honest giving. I'll take it. I love. She's like, I'm giving you two honest and ooh. If you were at your college graduation, which is coming up soon, and you were the commencement speaker, what would the title of your commencement speech be?
Never have a ceiling.
Never have a ceiling. And you came up with that fast. I love it. I love it. What's your unpopular opinion about HBCUs?
My unpopular opinion. That they I have no idea. I
Okay.
don't really think I have one.
Okay. That's okay. That's okay. That's okay. Shout out your favorite professor.
Dr. Ali Coleman.
Dr. Ali Coleman. I love that. What does
Her name
Ali
is
Coleman
Khadija Ali
teach?
Coleman. She
Khadija
is an
Ali
English teacher.
Coleman. I know her. I know that name. I know that name. She's amazing. She's a poet, right?
Yeah, yes, ma'am.
So I ate up your time, so I'm going to ask you one more question.
Okay.
What's your favorite thing about Dr. Jenkins?
My favorite thing about Dr. Jenkins is that he's attentive. I feel like if you bring something to him, it's not like he's sweeping under the rug, he'll address it. So I find that a lot of the times people say what you want to hear, but it's no action behind it. So I may not be on campus as much, but I try to join the segments that he does put out there for the students, and he allows us online to ask questions and actually be a part. So and I can appreciate that because I do have a job, I can't be there, but that I mean that's just what I appreciate about him. He's attentive.
So London, so rapid fire segment over. Thank you.
Okay.
I ate up some of the time. You ate some of the time as well. I ask everyone about Dr. Jenkins, President Jenkins, by the way. He's the president of Coppin State University. Because before I started this podcast, I ran into a young lady. She's since graduated now, but I ran into a young lady, and this was close to when he had started because he started in 2020. He became president of Coppin in 2020, and I think he had only been there a year and a half. And the way you don't, I don't, let me speak for myself. I don't hear too many students talking about their presidents in this way. The only other time I've heard students talk about a president in this way is the president of Virginia State University, President McCullough Abdullah. This is the only time. She used the word, I think he really loves being there. And she also used the word attentive. She used the phrase, I really think he loves being there. And then she used the word, he's like, I think he's listening to me, like me as an individual. Not, I know he's listening to all the students, but I think he's listening to me. So because of that, anytime I run across anybody from Coppin State University, I don't care whether or not you're a traditional student, non-traditional student, I ask that question, what are your thoughts on him? Because I don't think enough of our leaders get props for the things they do well. We're so quick to criticize them for the things they don't do
Yep,
well. And I think it is healthy to actually mention when they are the people that make us feel warm, make us feel appreciated, make us feel listened to, make us feel heard at our different institutions. And especially coming from you, a non traditional student who isn't always there, the fact that you use the word attentive the exact same way the freshman at the time used the word attentive. I hope he gets to hear this and I hope he gets to see that whatever it is he's doing, keep doing it. The students appreciate it. I said we were going to get into the social impact work of teaching because I, I say this, and I more so at anything below college. Pre-college is what I think. If you tell me that you are a high school teacher, a middle school teacher, a kindergarten teacher, any one of those, I personally think it is unconscionable that we've got athletes that make way more money than teachers in the United States of America. I will ride that sentence to the bank for several reasons. And reason number one, we spend, not we, the London Rochelles of the world spend more time with your kids than
absolutely,
you do. Than you
absolutely.
do. And I'm not blaming you for that. You've got to work, blah, 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 blah. I get it. But they spend more time with your kids than you do, which means whether you like it or not, they are part of your kids' character building.
Yep,
You said that it is a passion of yours, it is a desire of yours, it is what you've always wanted to do, and you're doing it now. This is an unfair question to ask you, but I'm going to ask it anyway, London.
let's go for it. Let's go for it.
Where have we failed in the education system pre-college? Where have we failed in the education system? Because college to me is a slightly different beast. It's everything pre-college that I think if you don't get that foundation right, by the time they get to college, you've got what you've got. That's just the honest to God truth. So pre-college, where have we failed as a society? Where have we failed?
I think it's the and this word is the attention part. Even down to, like I was telling you, Dr. Jenkins is attentive. Um, Rome wasn't built in the night, right? They that's the saying. They say Rome wasn't built in the night. So you think you got a student who has to go 12 years of school. That means you have 12 years to teach them the ins and outs of what it is to be successful. Um, how they should act in public, or how they should conduct themselves, what it is and how easy it is to just be an overall good person. And a lot of the times we get mixed up in things that don't matter,
Hmm.
that helps add to vision that, hey, this child is just going to automatically be nothing, so those kids slip through the cracks. A lot of the children that I'm coming into contact with, they have super duper heavy burdens. So it's like they're carrying burdens of their parents and overall life of just stuff the kids deal with, mental health and everything, and they don't have anybody to dump it off on. So sometimes not sometimes, majority of the times, we miss those signs because we be wrapped up in making a video on Instagram that we don't even realize, hey, like our student is not eating, or they lashing out, and it could be because they just need for you to say, hey, check this out. I know you was having a hard day today, but I love you. You get what I'm saying? So I feel like what we're missing is sitting down, helping our students with their homework, going to parent teacher night to see what it is that they can help their students with or whatnot. And it don't just start in elementary. It starts all the way up. It continues all the way up until they in the 12th grade. So a lot of times they feel as though they in the ninth grade. All right, we'll let the teachers handle it. Whereas though it's bigger than us. It'll always be bigger than us. I, and schools push, it takes a village. It really does. And sometimes, like us being a part of the students village, you can't expect us to just handle it on our own. We got to work hand in hand. So I feel like the attention part is what's missing, because a lot of the times the parents don't catch um what the student may need until it's too late. And now it's like, we tried. You get what I'm saying? So I don't know, did I answer your question?
There's no right or wrong way to answer this question. What I got from you is, as a general society, we could be better supporting teachers at their job. That's what I got from what you're saying.
Yes.
And the support that I hear you asking for is pay closer attention to these kids. Pay closer attention to when they need a little bit more time at X, Y, or Z, and not
Yes.
necessarily just focused on the different things that may not add to them. Um, I read a statistic. I don't have it on me, but I read a statistic recently that the rate of reading in America is actually getting worse over time instead of getting better. Um,
I
and
can
I'm
believe
taking
it.
this
Because
down
I
to
think everything
elementary.
now is done tablets and phones. And I mean, I even feel bad that, when I tell my students, hey, like, write your name on your papers, sign it in cursive, and they don't even know that. So it's just like, I wish, like, because I'm so passionate about kids and their success, that they but focus more on that opposed to just what the student do wrong. Like,
Mm, mm, mm.
motivating them through education, to me, is what's more important versus chastising them, making sure that they know when they wrong, versus, okay, this is wrong, but this is what you could do, this what you could do right, that'll make it better. Because I feel like building them up is it works 10 times better than constantly breaking them down. Because it's like, once you broke down, you don't care anymore, and that's important to me, to build my students up.
So, you're at an HBCU. You are an educator. You're working as a teacher right now, as a paraeducator. Um, I could be wrong because all I know are HBCUs. Most of all I know are HBCUs. And I think HBCUs have a model of becoming your family. And I'm one of those human beings. My voice is getting a little lower now because I know people do not agree with me on this statement. But I'm one of those human beings that I don't think that's fair. So I've listened to you talk even before we got on, before we started recording. You may not remember this, but I remember you describing teaching as you become the counselor, you become the parent, you become all of that. And I know so many educators, London, who had all the passion that you have, and they got burnt out. And because they got burnt out, they left, and you could not
Yeah.
pay them to do that again. This notion that our educators become our second family,
Mhm.
how does that not affect your mental health?
If I'm being 100% honest, it's don't get me wrong, I have my days, but it's the support that could, because it's like, one, I'm supporting others, but I'm also I'm dependent on the support. Like my principal, she's super supportive. Um, and then the teacher that I co-teach with, Mr. Bond, like, if it wasn't for him, like, he supports and understands me. So it's like having that support, to be able to support, and being able to trust somebody that you can dump have you feeling on with no uh judgment, means everything. Because it's like, when your heart is in it, your heart is in it. Like, you is nothing you can do. And I'm not saying that you're not gonna have your days, because we human, we all have days. I had mine. But being able to go to Principal Reed and Mr. Vaughn about things that's heavy on my heart, and they understand, and they're gonna do one or two things. They're gonna listen, or they're gonna offer up a solution, because that solution not only supports me, but it supports them, because they're able to support me in supporting of a student who may need it. So we definitely get burnt out, but it's rewarding to see that, I'm able to help, even if it's for a minute. I know that's what my calling is for. So we definitely get burnt out, but it's just having the support that's needed during one of the toughest time or the toughest days. And I can say that I'm well supported. So I do have my moments, but I depend on people who I know got my back.
Okay. So I know you're from Baltimore. You said that too. You shared that with us earlier on. And
It's deep in there. You
listen,
can hear it.
girl. You know what? I'm going to go there. Okay? I wasn't going to, but I'm going to go there. London, I'm one of those human beings. I don't know. And Chris, my producer, is going to tell me where she's from in a second. So there's an artist called Glorilla. Do you know who Glorilla
Okay.
is? Yes.
Yeah.
I don't know where she's from, but I think she's from somewhere from the South, right?
Okay.
Now, you have the beautiful, strong Baltimore accent. Like it's there. There's no avoiding it. This might be an unfair question. So when I listen to Glorilla, I don't listen to her music, but I've listened to her talk in an interview, and I'm like, huh? Like I didn't know what she was saying. Now, of course, I understand what you're saying, so I don't have the huh moment whenever I'm talking to you. But so Chris says Glorilla is from Memphis. Thanks, Chris. What do you hear, right, London? Like I want to ask you. I'm asking you now, but I want to ask Glorilla. What do you hear when those of us are listening? Because every time you say two, every like I'm hearing what you say, right? What do you hear? Do you guys find it funny? Do you guys find it? And I know this is such a silly question, so for those who are going to come at me like,
It's
really, did she
not
just
though. It's
ask
not.
that? Okay, thank you. What do your ears hear when you hear the accent being spoken in that way?
I hear I'm out here pride, because I am a true Baltimorean. So when people try to come up to me and they be making fun of how I say two and Doug, I'm like, I get it. I understand that it's dog, but for me, I like to say Doug. So when I said Doug, you knew I was talking about a wolf wolf. So like, wait, come on now, wait.
Let me tell you what
But
I
I mean, I
love
think
about what
I only get offended if I'm not. If I mean, I see people getting offended that they not proud of where they come from, and
got
I am
it, got
proud
it.
of where I come from. So Baltimore and people making fun of how I say those things, does not bother me. I be like, listen, you better know that's where I'm from. I ain't playing with you.
You know what I love about what you just did? The way you switched up from dog to Doug was insane to me, which tells me that's pride. That's pride because that person knows exactly how the rest of y'all say it, but that's not the way she says it. This is the way she says it. You know what? Thanks for opening that door for me because I was going to ask you, but I was like, Tosin, she might get offended, so don't ask
I don't
her.
listen. I don't mind. I tell people all the time, like nobody can tell my story better than me. You get what I'm saying? So I would rather
Absolutely.
you ask me than wonder, because like I don't mind. Like I'm an open book. Maybe how I feel or how I think others may think the same way. So it doesn't
Absolutely.
bother me at
I
all.
love it. I absolutely love it. So I brought up Baltimore earlier on. As you know, there are two HBCUs in Baltimore. And if we're going to make this bigger than Baltimore and make it about Maryland, you've got Bowie, you've got UMES, as well as Coppin and Morgan. What made you pick Coppin?
So I'm gonna be completely 150 million% honest with you. I picked Coppin because it's literally 6 minutes from my house. So the reason why I picked it was because I knew I even wanted to go between Morgan and Coppin. And the reason why I chose Coppin was because when my son was having his chemo appointments, it would be easier for me to just leave Hopkins and go straight, or I could drop him off home and then go to school versus having to leave the hospital, take him home, then have to ride all the way over to East Baltimore. And then sometimes, like on Mondays and Wednesdays now, when I leave school to go to when I leave work to go to school, me having to go to all the way over East Baltimore from Columbia would be a stretch. So I just felt like long as I got the education from one of the two black colleges, like that was what was important to me. So Coppin was around the corner. So I said, "Hey, Coppin, I'm going there."
Listen, 6 minutes away is a beautiful gift. Listen, that's a beautiful gift. What is something that your students would say about you that you'll be like, yeah, they know me? What will be that one thing that they haven't said, but if they said it about you, you'll be like, yeah, these kids know who I am.
Um, I would say they would probably be like, well, no, they've said to me, "Oh, Miss London don't play. Like, don't play with her because she gonna stay on top of you. Like, don't play with her. I wanna be seen as stern but loving because I feel like
Mm,
a lot of the times the children miss out on the fact that you can be Miss Honey, but you can also be Miss Honey and give that look ways that they know, okay, I'm going to class. You get what I'm saying? Because they sometimes they need that tough love, and so they will probably say Miss London is tough, but she care because I want all the students I interact with to feel that way.
absolutely. When you said honey, I thought about honey pepper wings. So you can be Miss Honey with a lot of pepper. I'm so silly. But that's what I thought about. Miss Honey with some pepper. Pepper is the she doesn't play, right? Okay.
So I don't know if you ever seen Matilda. How they had so it was a movie called Matilda, and Miss Honey was one of the teachers on there, and she just loved all the kids. So some of the students be telling me like, "You're Miss Honey, but you got a hint of Miss Trunchbull,"
Oh.
and I'm like, as long
Oh,
as you know.
okay. Okay. Now, give me something that they don't know about you that you would want your students to know.
um, I struggle with it's crazy. I'm even about to say this, but I struggle with saying no. Like I I struggle with saying no. Like you would think a lot of my family and my friends depend on me for a lot, and at my lowest, so at times that I don't have it, like I still give, and I'm trying to get better with it because it's just like, but it's just that's all I know. At my lowest, when I haven't had like me saying yes when the time I know I should say no, um, it ends up becoming rewarding down the end, but it's still like I still gave when I didn't have it.
You didn't
So
have
my students don't know that, I struggle with
saying
saying
no.
no.
If you, this is my last one of these questions. If you had a magic wand and you could give something to every single one of the students that you meet, what would that thing be?
Um, Dang, I wish I could. I don't know. If, I would say I know this gonna sound so cheesy, but I would say unconditional love with $10,000.
Unconditional love with a sprinkle of $10,000. I love it.
I say that because like a lot of my students, well, I'm not gonna say a lot of my students, but children I have come encounter with, they missing the love piece. It's not
Hmm.
that their parents don't love them, but they could be wrapped up in trying to make ends meet, or you know things that they're trying to do with, or they miss just telling their babies like, "I love you," like, "Have a good day." You get what I'm saying? So, and then the $10,000 could be getting them in school, going to college, or helping their parents pay the rent for the month, or whatever the case may be, like whatever they want to use it for, but just to help them get on their feet, like. So I don't know, but the love pieces was big. I'm even learning now, like to tell because I didn't hear that word when I was growing up. Hey, I love you. Like, have a good day. I knew that I was loved, but it wasn't told to me. So I feel like just saying those things really help because like. And I'm learning that even with my own children. We all right, have a good day. Because even sometimes when my sons be like, "All right, ma, I love you," I'll be like, "Who you talking to?" Like, because I'm just not used to
You're
hearing it.
not used
So,
to it. Yeah. Yeah.
hmm
In my culture, I am Nigerian, I'm Yoruba, and we don't say that too often. And the first time I heard my mom tell me that she loves me, my mother's very touchy feely. So you could tell that she's one of those people that always wanted to do that, but never really did. I heard my mom tell me that that she loved me for the very first time when I was 16 years old. That was the very, very
Oh
first
wow.
time. And I did one of your numbers that you did with your son. I was like, is everything okay with mom? Like, I know you love
That's the
me.
first, but see, that's the new norm because you normally think when somebody tells you that they love you, be like, what you done did? And it's like, you didn't do anything. I just want you to know that I love you. Like,
Yeah.
and
Like
it's
my
so crazy
mom.
because like
No, go ahead, go
my
ahead, go
dad
ahead.
used to tell me all the time like that he loved me. And I'm like already saying what you didn't did, and it's like now. So my dad passed away in July. So I'm like me just like if I could just hear him say that one more
Of
time because
course.
even things like that you take for granted.
You
So
do.
I
You
would give
do.
unconditional love to anybody.
Yeah, no, that's a special one. I'm gonna make sure my mom sees this because I used to be a little uncomfortable because I went to college when I was 16. So my very first time home for the holidays, summer holidays, I was still 16. I went home and my mom's at the airport and she's like just all this kissing and I'm like, lady, stop. Lady, what are you stop what are you doing? And it's not that I don't want my mother to show love to me. It's that I know that their definition of expressions of love was different. And it didn't
Yeah,
necessarily come with a touchy feely warm like my mom was like, oh, let me kiss you on the cheek, or I'm like, okay, stop. But those things humanize us is what I'm learning, and they make us feel
right.
a little softer. They make us feel as if somebody does care, like right in here. So I thanks for bringing that up because it has allowed me to say this, and my mom's gonna watch this, and now she's not gonna stop every single time she sees me. She's gonna be like, oh my gosh, Josie, come for her. And I'm like, mom, stop it, stop it, stop it. Stop it. London, is there something that I should have asked you? We talked about a lot, but is there something that I should have asked you or that you would have wanted to share that I did not do a good job of bringing up? Please tell us.
Um, no, I just I mean I guess the most important thing for me that I would want to say is to tell people that as cheesy as it may sound, you can do it. Like I am, like I said, I'm priding myself on all of my accomplishments despite having all the things that I have been dealing with just in this year within the last 2 years, and like just to let people know, like don't let it break you. Like you got
Yeah,
the support of people at your school, and I've had some amazing support staff that Coppin that I appreciate wholeheartedly that has helped me get through to where I am today. So I would just tell people like don't give up. Like you got it. And I know it sounds cliche, but it's real. And I am a true testament of that. Like it's real. I'm proud of myself, and I want others to be proud of themselves and go for what's good for them.
London, you've said twice, you said it's cheesy, you said it's cliche. I hope you always say it because you never know who needs it. I needed to hear you say that today. Because as much as we hear it everywhere, the reality is you don't know when you're going to need to hear it in the moment that it matters the most for you to hear it. So
Absolutely.
keep saying it. No matter how, oh, I know people hear this all the time. If that's what you believe and you feel led to say it, please continue saying it because I, Tosin, needed to hear you say, don't give up. Okay, London, in one word or short phrase, why do you, London Rochelle, I love your name, London Rochelle, why do you, London Rochelle, love HBCUs?
I'm gonna say if the one word I had to pick, I would probably pick ADD. I would say add because I add to um the culture of the school with what I bring in the success that you know uh the school comes with. I'm now a part of that success of of an HBCU. And the crazy part about this, like I said before, like people didn't instill in us when we were younger how important it was, but me understanding that how important it is now. So I add to the value. I add to even me telling somebody else about the school and how what I like about it for them to now they want to go. Now I'm constantly adding to the success of the school that helped me be successful.
Absolutely.
So
Absolutely. London, Rochelle, it has been my absolute joy and pleasure having this conversation with you this lovely day. I think it is impossible for anybody to come, listen, watch you, and not say, I'm going to like this episode because of London, and I'm going to follow and subscribe to I Love My HBCU on everywhere where you get your podcasts. London, thank you so much. Until next
thank you
time,
for
yours in
having me.
HBCU love. You've been listening to I Love My HBCU question mark. Let's keep the conversation going as we share our stories and encourage more practical support of HBCUs, whilst of course holding each other accountable. Don't forget to follow and subscribe for the latest episodes. Until next time, love and lift your HBCU.